Today's April 1st. Let's talk about every game happened on March 31st. The first game is the Miami Heat beat the Washington Wizards 120-94. Um, the Heat, they won five straight, actually, and they lost five straight before this. And they are the ninth seed. They could catch up to the Magic with about 6, 7 games left. So Tyler Hero is going to have a good week, rest of the week, and next week. 27 points, great, missed all the threes, 9 for 9 from the free throw line. And this guy Larson, who's been getting the start, I would also go and roster him. He had 15 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, and a steal. As long as he's starting, he's a good guy to have. Alec Burks started only 17 minutes. If there's a back-to-back, maybe you could stream him. Hopefully one of these games he went off. And by also versus the Wizards had a really good game with 28 points and 12 rebounds. Terrence Rozier off the bench played 32, but that's, Davion Mitchell, if he played, right, he probably filled in the void. So I don't expect Terrence Rozier to have a lot of minutes with Davion Mitchell back. If Davion does come back, I think he's also have some good streaming value. For the Wizards, yeah, they're playing all their guys super low minutes. Bob Carrington, good game actually. Only 8 points, 2 threes, only went 3 for 11, but he played 38 minutes, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, and 3 added 3 steals as well. Jordan Poole, great. 7 threes, 35 points, and 2 steals. Overall, Jordan Poole had a great season overall. And he shows that, hey, like on a bad team, right, despite playing the low minutes, overall on the season, he's a 67th ranked player. Right, and he plays 65 games. So overall, if you drafted him in the 70s or 80s, pretty good year for Jordan Poole, even though I think toward the end of the year he wasn't getting the minutes, right? But he's still scoring decent amount, hitting threes, getting some assists. Alex Sarr, 3 for 17, versus the Heat. We know this is going to be kind of a rough game for him, but before this, he's played very, very well. Also added the steal and 2 blocks, but the efficiency always going to be a problem with him. Whenever he plays on good defenses. And A.J. Johnson needs to be rostered, even though he had a rough game here as well. It's versus the Heat, and Justin Champagnie also should be rostered for some 3 and D. The next game, this is a huge win for the Clippers. 96-87, they beat the Magic. Kind of a not a must-win situation, but, in the West, the race for the 5th seed even, they all between 5th and 8th seed. They're only one game. So it's very, very tight race. So Kawhi played 39 minutes. They're going to play Kawhi a lot of minutes. 21 minutes here. Missed all the threes, but still, they got the W. James Harden had 20.7 steals and a block. Just completely went off. Great. And the fact that Harden is still playing, right? They need him to play, but the fact that he's still playing, and just really surprised with his health this year, really. He just didn't really miss any games, and the Clippers are in a good situation next 2 weeks because they have to play the guys. Norman Powell also had a great one with 21 points. And how about Zubac? 18 points and 21 rebounds. Absolutely went off versus Magic, and 5 assists. For the Magic, Banchero, 26 points, but again, 8 for 23 from the field. He hit his free throws though. Wendell Carter Jr. had 3 steals and 2 blocks. We mainly stream him for some rebounds. That's really it. KCP actually hit all his shots, 3 for 3. That's pretty impressive. But you really now KCP, you really need, if you need steals, you have him. Otherwise, I wouldn't even touch him. Just he doesn't really provide anything else. I think the drop off is pretty bad for KCP in fantasy, because a couple years ago he was a serviceable in Denver, right? A lot of defensive set, hit some threes. But Denver, you're playing with Jokic, so it's a different ballgame. The next one, another bad loss for the Kings. They are barely holding on. The Kings, the good thing for them is the Phoenix Suns is even worse. They lost 2 straight. The Kings are actually 3-7, in their last 10 games. But they're getting their guys back. Malik Monk came off the bench, played 28 minutes. If Malik Monk is on the waiver wire, I would pick him up if I need guard stats. Right, another rough one here, but his minutes should be trending up. Zach LaVine, 20 points with 4 threes. That's pretty good. DeMar DeRozan went off with 31 points. He also played 42 minutes. 2 threes, 8 assists, and a steal. A lot looks good, but just not enough. Sabonis also had 25 points and 16 rebounds. They all play well, Keegan Murray had 12 points and 2 threes, and Keon Ellis, right? You could still stream him for some defensive stats. He's still getting around 25 to 30 minutes. The Kings, they all seem to play well, but this Pacers, I think they also came back. They were down 10 plus points in the second half. But that's what this team does. They come back, right? You have Obi Toppin goes 5 for 8 from the 3-point line, played 22 minutes. Overall, they did not shoot the three ball well other than Obi Toppin. He had 19 points. Tyrese Halliburton had 18 points and 11 assists. With Miles Turner out, Thomas Bryant came in, played 22 minutes. They gave some of the minutes to, they decided to go small. They also played Tony Bradley. I remember this guy, actually. I didn't know he's on the Pacers. He played 7 minutes. And Siakam also had a rough one with 11 points. And I don't know how they won this game, to be honest. They didn't shoot the three ball that well, right? 34%. Maybe they generate a lot of turnovers. Doesn't seem like the case. They got to the line 13 times. Kings missed a bunch of free throws. That's what ultimately hurt them because they only lost by 2. The next one, those two teams, they really are not really playing for anything. The Jazz and the Charlotte Hornets, 106-110. Filipowski struggled from the field, but still had a double-double. 13 rebounds, 2 threes, 14 points. Even with Walker Kessler playing, right, Filipowski will still get around 30 minutes. So I really like him moving forward for the rest, the 2 weeks. They're playing him. He's the guy that is not resting. They started Bryce Sensabaugh, had 19 points, 5 threes. Yeah, if he continues to start, we could definitely look at him. And Isaiah Collier had 7 assists, 3 steals in a block. Big game from Isaiah Collier as well. Getting those assists and steals, that's what you have him for in fantasy. And Keontae George came off the bench, goes 7 for 20. Another rough shooting night, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal and 3 threes. But I would say Keontae George is better, if you're not making him the point guard, to be honest. Right, if you just give him the ball and say, hey, score for me, he does that better, although he's pretty horrific percentages-wise. Another horrible game from the field. For the Hornets, they were resting Miles Bridges, last game because they have the back-to-back. He played 34 minutes here. Absolutely went off with 26 points, 10 rebounds, 3 threes, 8 assists, a steal and a block. He's been really good. There's no other way to put it. And this game, they're still playing him huge minutes. Mark Williams also balling, 13 rebound, 8 for 9. No defensive stats, but rebound, points, and field goal pretty good. And they started KJ Simpson. He's a guy that we should also roster if he continues to start. And Josh Green hit 3 threes. But KJ Simpson, yeah, he had a good game here. 2 threes, 6 assists, 2 steals and block. Yeah, we should look to have him on our roster for the next 2 weeks. Because he comes in, right, I would say provide pretty good value. Give you guard stats, right, getting 30 plus minutes. Although this game they did play Utah, so it doesn't really mean much. Next game they could really struggle. The next game is the Celtics and the Grizzlies, 117-103. The Celtics, they're just killing it. And Jason Tatum goes 10 for 24, it doesn't matter. Because you have Porzingis, who's a plus 29 in his 33 minutes. Right, no blocks, but 19 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 threes. Really good. And they even started Xavier Tillman to combat, I guess, the big lineups of the Grizzlies. They didn't have Jaylen Brown here. The Celtics roster, if you look at it, it's just really, really good. They don't need Jaylen Brown. And I don't think from the plus-minus perspective, Jaylen Brown is even that good, Derrick White hit 3 threes, 2 blocks, and 10 assists, 8 rebounds, 14 points. Amazing. Drew Holiday hit 4 threes, had 18 points. He's been playing a lot better the last couple of games, right? Al Horford came off the bench, hit 6 threes, 26 points, just crazy. Peyton Pritchard did not have a great game, same as Sam Hauser, but they both got their minutes, 25 minutes. Yeah. Tatum didn't even need to play that well for the Celtics to have a blowout win on the road versus a decent team in Grizzlies. For the Grizzlies, after this loss, they're the 5th seed. Who knows? Another loss or 2, they could be the 6th. They could be the 6th or 7th seed, right? By the end of the season, they fired their head coach, Taylor Jenkins. 2 weeks before the playoffs. You don't really see that very often. At least you want the playoffs, right? Because you're about to go into the playoff. You want some, stability or continuity, unless they feel like their current situation is really really bad. They really need to change it. I don't know. With the new coach, they just started Zach Edey. I mean, the game before Zach Edey had a lot of play like 26 minutes. He wasn't in foul trouble, so only 12 minutes. But yeah, I mean, Edey is somebody for sure. If he gets consistent 25 minutes, if you need some rebound and some field goal and blocks next week, you could use him. Ja Morant had another good game with 26 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals and 2 threes. And the minutes is up for him as well. Santi Aldama came off the bench at 21 points and 3 threes. That's pretty good. For the Grizzlies, it's just hard to kind of distribute the minutes out. Jaren Jackson Jr. out of nowhere had 15 rebounds and 20 points and 3 threes and a block. They got a lot of guys, right? Luke Kennard, Vince Williams Jr., Scottie Pippen Jr. Right? They even played Marvin Bagley because Zach Edey was in some foul trouble. Yeah, it's just hard to distribute the minutes. They got a lot of good guys, right? Scottie Pippen Jr., very solid player as well. The next game is the Chicago Bulls. Their hype definitely dies down a little bit. They beat some good teams, but playing OKC on the road, you get blown out. Josh Giddey still had a decent game, honestly. 15 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds and a steal, but because of the blowout, right, only 27 minutes. Patrick Williams came off the bench, had, shot the ball well. Like, if there's a back-to-back, we can definitely string Patrick Williams. And Matas is a guy I think we got to have him, right? He's been playing really, really good. I know Kevin Huerter is out and his minutes is up and down, but last week, the 2 games he scored over 30. So he could definitely do that again. So, we got to have him, especially if the Bulls have a great schedule moving forward. Vucevic just 21 minutes. Yeah, I mean, they kind of waved the flag early in the third quarter. For OKC, Shea, just 27 points because he only played 27 minutes. Right, he played 35, easily 35, 12 assists and 2 blocks. Isaiah Hartenstein did his thing. Shed Holmgren only 5 points in 25 minutes. He's been struggling quite a bit offensively, but the team is winning. Jalen Williams had 23 points in 24 minutes. Just another easy work for them. And with all the guys back, like guys like Cason Wallace and Isaiah Joe, I think we could let them go. Both guys actually had a decent game, especially Cason Wallace had 3 steals and a block and 8 assists and 2 threes. But I think next game, he's just not going to get 27 minutes, because this is a blowout. He probably just gets around 20. Moving on to the next game, we have the Dallas Mavericks lost to the Brooklyn Nets. This is also a really bad loss for the Mavericks because apparently they're trying to make the play-ins. 113-109. D'Lo, I don't know why they play him 31 minutes, but they did. 18 points and 11 assists, 2 steals and block, 4 threes. His best game in 2 months, I would say. They really just want to play spoiler party. They really try hard to beat the Mavericks. Keon Johnson, only 28 minutes. But he's been playing really, really well, to be honest. 24 points here with 2 threes and took 19 shots as well. Jalen Williams with 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal and 2 threes. He did a bit of everything, so that's pretty good. Claxton came back, had a steal and a block. And Drew Timme, who's been getting a lot of minutes and some hype, still had 9 points. So if Claxton is out and they got a back-to-back, I'm just talking about a very specific situation here. Like, hey, maybe we could look at him. For the Mavericks, AD, they are playing him at the power forward position. They already got Daniel Gafford back. So AD just wanted to play power forward, I guess. Another rough night, but hopefully AD turns it around. We have like a week left. Spencer Dinwiddie had another game with 8 assists. That's great. 11 points. And Klay goes 5 for 16 again. Klay his percentages just dropped off so badly this year, actually. Let me see his 3-point percentage this year. 39%, actually. It's not horrible. But, yeah, it's just years in the past. Yeah, his field goal is really down, like only 41%. So he's still hitting some threes, but his field goal has dropped off every single year pretty much. in the last 3 or 4 after injury, because he's usually a 46-47% guy with 40%. Now he's a 41% guy, field goal guy, and he's still hitting 39% from three, so that's still good. Better than a lot of other guys for sure in the league. The last game of the night, this game mattered a lot. The Rockets went to the Lakers, barely lost, and with this win, the Lakers, the 4th seed, they could catch up to the Nuggets, and the Rockets could actually fall all the way down to the 4th. So we'll see. It'll be very interesting. These two teams are gonna try super hard, try to lock down a good seed in the next week or two, in the next week and a half. Dylan Brooks, 16 points, still in the block with 3 threes. If there's a back-to-back, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith Jr., those guys, we could stream them. Fred VanVleet goes 2 for 14 again. 9 assists and 7 points. 9 assists is good. Jalen Green also struggled massively, but added some rebound assists and still in block, so that's good. Şengün, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Pretty average game from Şengün as well. Also had some foul trouble. Nobody played that particularly well on the Rockets. It's a kind of a collective effort. Taro Eason came off the bench, had a good game with 13 points. Taro Eason, I would also be streaming him for some defensive stats and rebounds. For the Lakers, Luka versus the Rockets defense, only 20 points. It's a very low scoring game. And all the role players actually, Gabe Vincent, Dorian Finney-Smith, the Rockets make the other guys beat them. So they collectively took 24 threes together. Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent. I mean, I guess there are just a lot of quality looks. Both hit 6 threes. That's amazing, actually. Those guys really carried the offense. Austin Reeves only 12 points, while LeBron only had 16. But even though the big three didn't really do much offensively, they were playing defense. They're getting assists, at least in Luka's case. That's great. Rui Hachimura had 1 3 and 7 points. We could also have him in the short term, I think, playing 30 minutes. If they play some bad teams, he's going to get some points and rebounds. That's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.